Seeing this, many people in the crowd were perplexed. "What is Clarissa doing? Does she already want to surrender?" "That can't be the case, right? This battle was just about to get good." Someone reacted in disbelief. "Is that useless son-in-law really that strong?" Another onlooker speculated. As the crowd continued to discuss, Kevin frowned. He could clearly feel that Clarissa was just getting started. He knew that she was digging deep within her soul to channel a much stronger and ferocious persona, and he was starting to doubt whether he would still be able to handle that side of her. Just then, Clarissa opened her eyes once again. Upon doing so, she picked up her dagger and threw it forcefully in a circular motion before catching it back once it had fully rotated. All of a sudden, every wooden pole that was still standing was cut in half. "Paul, did she just use the halo technique? Looks like your student has really learned a lot of advanced skills from you," Wayne said with a great praise. Meanwhile, as Ariana watched from the crowd, she couldn't help but let out an evil smile. After last night's encounter, her hatred towards Kevin had already reached a boiling point. Therefore, she wished that Clarissa would take the opportunity not just to defeat Kevin, but kill him once and for all. "Oh, she's only learned a little bit." Paul's mood brightened up as his worries were swept away. Now that Clarissa had used the halo technique that he had personally taught her, he was sure that Kevin would definitely lose today. With Clarissa about to make her next move, Kevin held tightly onto the night dagger and placed it in front of his chest so that he could face her attack head-on. However, he wasn't sure if it would be enough protection against the power of the halo technique. If Clarissa's dagger could cut through so many wooden poles using it, Kevin felt as if his entire body could just as easily be cut in half in the same manner. "Clarissa is so powerful. Looks like that Kevin is dead for sure this time." Lionel scoffed with a vicious smile. "He deserves to die for being so arrogant." Mike spat on the ground in disgust. At the same time, Lily, who was also watching Kevin from the crowd, couldn't bear to see her husband like this. Her heart felt heavy as she tightly clutched the edges of her seat. Similarly, Phoebe stood up from her seat as she waited to see what would happen next. Her face was filled with worry, but she couldn't keep her eyes off of Kevin. Suddenly, Kevin had a light bulb moment as something clicked in his mind. If Clarissa could harness the power of her inner strength and couple that with her training, then he could surely do the same. After all, he'd taken a lot of herbal pills that improved his own strength, including the crystal pill from the Night King yesterday. If he succeeded in doing that, then this could be his chance to prove himself worthy of the Night King's mentorship, as well as the night dagger that he had been given. As Kevin closed his eyes, a boastful smile appeared on the corner of Clarissa's mouth. "Now that you've seen the power of the halo technique, are you ready to surrender now?" Deep down, Clarissa didn't actually want to cause any deaths. After all, Kevin was also just a student at the Healing Arts School and not an actual enemy, and this competition was only meant to be a showcase of their skills. However, just as Clarissa thought that Kevin was about to give up, she saw a familiar look in his eyes when he opened them up again. Her face suddenly changed when she realized why. Shortly after Clarissa had drawn enough inner strength, she used the halo technique with her dagger, which cut all the surrounding wooden poles in half. With such a powerful technique at her disposal, Kevin was seemingly on the verge of defeat. However, he suddenly realized that if he could also channel his own inner strength in a similar fashion, then he would stand a chance against Clarissa. With that, Kevin closed his eyes. Just as Clarissa thought he was about to surrender, her face changed when she recognized the familiar look in his eyes once he had reopened them. "I've finally succeeded," Kevin exclaimed. He had started looking into exploring his untapped strength through meditation about a month ago, but up until now, he had never been able to achieve the level of clarity in his mind, body, and soul to unlock it. Now that Kevin finally understood how to do that, he was suddenly excited to test his strength. Trying to recall what Clarissa had done earlier, he threw the night dagger in a circular motion. True enough, it cut all the surrounding wood poles in half once again before he caught the dagger with his hands. Upon seeing this, Clarissa's jaw dropped. How did Kevin perform the halo technique on his first try? Without any training, she thought to herself. While Clarissa's sudden display of strength earlier had turned more than a few heads, it wasn't a complete surprise given her years of training. However, everyone was shocked when they saw the same change happen with Kevin. Wasn't he relatively new to all of this? This made Paul stand up from his seat. How is that possible? Did your professors teach him this? Wayne simply smiled and shrugged, but his eyes had lit up. He didn't know what was going on either, but he was quite impressed with Kevin at the moment. Since when did such a prodigy appear in our healing arts school? Was Kevin hiding this all along? Ariana's face was filled with disbelief. This was quite puzzling. Kevin and Dalton had been seriously injured by her last night. However, not only were they both fully recovered today, but Kevin had also become much stronger. Could it be because of that mysterious figure from last night? At the same time, Nadia Alexander had been talking to Harley Shepard. Suddenly, she said, I wonder if Kevin would reconsider joining the Herbalist Society. Although Nadia's voice wasn't particularly loud, it was more than enough for Wayne to overhear her. He knew very well who she was, and the people from the Herbalist Society behind her were even more highly regarded. Although there were so many students in the Healing Arts School, there wasn't anyone who caught their interest until now. Why the sudden interest in our student? Harley asked Nadia. Harley, there's something you don't know. Kevin produced the best pill during the herbalism contest. So in a sense, he already has the qualifications to enter the Herbalist Society. I actually offered him a spot before, but he wasn't interested at the time. Nadia explained as she watched Kevin, who had resumed fighting with Clarissa again. Wait, wasn't another student declared as the winner? The one Wayne had been directly mentoring? Harley Shepard asked curiously. Yes, but Kevin was the real winner, Nadia admitted without going into further detail. Harley was stumped. The Herbalist Society always did things with integrity, not to mention that it was their family's herbalism contest. If the real winner wasn't declared, wouldn't it damage their reputation? It seems like there's something else hidden behind all this. I wonder what her reasons were, he thought to himself. By now, the first round victors had already been decided in the other arena matchups. There was no doubt that the other representatives of the Healing Arts School were still inferior compared to their opponents, who had been trained in other schools. It had only opened not long ago, so this was completely understandable. However, Kevin's shocking emergence could change that perception. Every time Kevin would attack Clarissa with his newfound strength, it was like a flying dragon that was running circles around its prey.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.